please. Thank you. Okay, everyone. This is the 1 o'clock, May 2nd meeting of the Finance Committee. We are using Zoom for this meeting, which allows the public to participate as an attendee. As in a preliminary matter, I am Denise Cronow, Chair of the Finance Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond to the affirmative. Joe Wright.
Yes, here.
Chris Gibson, Chris Kowacki, boy, one of those
Here.
days. Rob Giacchetti,
Here.
Jill Veith,
Here.
Jeremy Bloomer,
Here.
Denise Cronow here. Okay. Staff, when I call your name, please respond to the affirmative. Brian Turbot,
In attendance, Madam Chair.
Susan Carmel,
Here.
Maria Basheva,
Here.
Libby Gibson,
Here.
Christy Ferrantella,
Here.
Vince Murphy.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, so with that, good afternoon. This open meeting of the Finance Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment for the meeting of the Finance Committee or by video conference. So please be aware that the meeting is being recorded and please do not share screen. Please stay muted until it's your turn to talk. And everything will have to be by roll call. So may I have an approval of the agenda, please?
So approved. I second.
May I have a second?
I second.
Okay, thank you. By roll call, Joe Wright,
Yes.
Chris Kowacki,
Aye.
Rob Giacchetti,
Aye.
Jill Veith,
Aye.
Jeremy Bloomer,
Aye.
Stephen Morey.
Are we approving the agenda?
Yes, we are.
Aye.
Thank you. And now I will open it to public comments. If there's a member of the public that wants to speak about something that is not on our agenda today, this is your opportunity.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. If I may just ask Nantucket Together to rename with first and last name, please.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Maria. So Nantucket Together, you need to enter your first and last name or tell us your first and last name, and Maria can put that in for you. Kathy Baird, is that you?
She may have us muted. Let's assume it's Kathy Baird, I think, and rename her.
Usually is Kathy Baird, but Kathy, are you on Nantucket Together? All right, I'm going to move on until Nantucket. Yeah, I'm going to move on. Okay. Is there any public comment? Seeing no hands raised, I'm going to close public comments. May I have any corrections to the minutes from February 9th and February 13th? I do not see anyone from the Finance Committee raising their hand to make any corrections. So may I please have an approval of both sets of minutes? A motion to approve and a second.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Joe Wright.
Abstain. I wasn't there.
Okay. Chris Kowacki,
Aye.
Rob Giacchetti,
Aye.
Jeremy Bloomer,
Aye.
Jill Veith,
Aye.
Stephen Morey.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. All right. The next thing on our agenda is Articles 12 and 59. There is a change to the agenda for today. Article 12, the appropriation for 31 Western Avenue, will be discussed in executive session after this meeting, and then the public will be informed of the Finance Committee's recommendation subsequent to the executive session. And on Article 59, the Planning Board has not met yet to discuss whether they're going to change their motion. And as they are the primary motion on Article 59, we will be meeting on May 7th at 4:15 p.m. to then review what their motion, their potentially changed motion is, and then we can make our recommendation subsequent to that. So until they go through that process, we will not discuss it today. Okay, is that clear to everybody?
Denise, this is Stephen Cohen. I have a question.
Yes,
So I get what you said about Article 59, that you're putting it off until after the planning board votes.
Correct.
That's fine. But I wanted to make ask some questions and make some comments about Article 12. And if I understood you correctly, that's not happening either?
no,
Didn't
that's
quite
going to
follow
happen. It's currently still in, it has to be discussed in executive session because the town is still in. Libby, you jump in and explain why it's going to be an executive session rather than me go blah,
Yes.
blah.
So the finance committee didn't make a motion yet pending the outcome of a condition assessment, which was just discussed earlier with the select board, and there is a potential continuing negotiation that will be reviewed with FinCom at its executive session. So I suppose you could make some, if the chair and the FinCom are agreeable, I suppose you could make some comments about it, but the motion is not complete.
Okay. Thank you, Libby. I guess, Denise, what is the process where I could ask some questions and make some comments? Is that today?
Stephen, yeah, I think it makes sense today to hear your questions and your comments. We will not be responding to them. So
Okay,
we will then
okay.
take them into consideration when we go into deliberation in executive session.
So the FinCom is also going to vote in executive session, is that right?
That would be my hope.
Okay.
So
Right.
to clarify that, Denise, this all kind of transpired a little quickly earlier in the week, and the FinCom executive session is technically posted for 2 o'clock, but the idea is that it takes place immediately following the moderators conference. And I'm sorry, I only saw your email about it, Denise, like 10 minutes ago. And then there will be a need for the FinCom to release its motion publicly, but your next scheduled meeting in open session won't be until Tuesday. So technically, the motion wouldn't be publicly out till then, but practically and realistically, if a motion is reached today, it will need to be put onto our technical amendment sheet, which will be given to the moderator probably before Tuesday, although I can't say exactly when that will be.
Okay. I think I followed that. Thank you, Libby. Denise, can I make a couple of quick comments?
Well, first, I'm glad you could follow that, Stephen. And so you're one step ahead of me today. Thank you very much. Yeah. And yes, please go ahead. And then we'll take them under consideration when we go into executive session.
So I have, as you know, I'm an attorney, and I have been contacted by 2 different clients who are interested in supplying the town with housing. And we're a little surprised that there's no RFP for the housing, the employee housing that would be derived from this acquisition. And so my clients are wondering why it's not being put out to bid to see if there's a better or other options. So that's one thing. And again, I have 2 clients who are interested in trying to see if they could provide this housing. The second thing is, just as a citizen, I tend to support nearly all of the 2.5 overrides, and I think the town does a good job in figuring out how to spend our money, and is generally pretty hesitant about doing these. And this one seems very expensive for what it's for. And what concerns me about it is that there's no plan or budget that's been publicly released. And I'm concerned about going to town meeting with no plan for the site and no budget for the site. If there is one, I'm not aware of it, but my guess is that a $6 million purchase out there turns into a $10 or $12 million project, and that seems concerning. So I was wondering if anybody could respond to that.
We can't, Stephen, that's the point of the executive session, but thank you for your questions.
Okay.
Anything else on 12? Okay.
No. Okay. So just so I understand it, you're going to have an executive session, you're going to vote, and then you're going to release what that vote was at some point in the future. There's no other public process. Before
town meeting, correct. At worst case, it would be at our 4:15 meeting on Tuesday, May 7th, when we have one last opportunity to make one final technical amendment to something. So, and that would be in person at town meeting. We'll do that in the high school auditorium.
Okay.
So, but
Thank
it,
you.
as Libby said, it will have to be part of the technical amendments that go to Sarah. So they will obviously be published and on the town's website prior to May 7th. Libby, go
Okay,
ahead.
and
Just to quickly point out, this is probably a little more obvious than it needs to be, but of course, the biggest opportunity for public comment about this article is at town meeting.
right. Okay, thank you, Libby and Denise. And I guess I just so I understand it, we're not doing 59 today. It's going to be Monday,
We're
right?
not. We're going, it'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Planning board has a
Planning
meeting
board
on
is
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. And then we will see what they come up with in terms of if they're modifying their recommendation. And then the finance committee at 4:15 on the 7th will agree or disagree with the planning board as we've done in the future.
Okay,
But as you know, the voters are voting on the planning board's recommendation, not on the finance committees for that.
Right.
All right.
and that meeting is actually in the high school, right?
Our meeting will be in the high school on May 7th, 4:15.
Yes, yeah,
The planning board, I believe, is going to be online on the 6th, but they're the day before.
I think that's right. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate both of you.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, thank you. Peter Schaefer, you had a question, and it can't be about anything substantive about Article 12. We have to wait for executive session to discuss that. So if you're going to say something, don't say it, please.
Nope. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Stephen. All right. That was, okay, good. All right, Brian, over to you for technical amendments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the first technical amendment we have, Maria, do you want to scroll down to the bottom? Relates to the airport, and it relates to a little bit of miscommunication between myself and the finance people at the airport. I missed a tab when we were going through all of their transfers. They had proposed transferring $1.1 million out of their undesignated fund balance in the fuel revolver into Article 16 of the 2020 annual town meeting. As people recall, we had originally authorized an $8 million borrowing for them to deal with costs associated with the groundwater soil investigation, which related to PFAS at the airport. Subsequently, over the years, as projects have been undertaken, we've only used the borrowing as for cash flow purposes. And then if they've had additional funds, they've transferred it into the article to have that cash flow purposes rather than do the borrowing. So they're requesting $1,100,000 be transferred from the fuel revolver for those purposes, which would change the total of the airport transfers to $6,739,423.26.
Thank you, Brian. Questions from the finance committee? And, okay, thanks, Maria. I have to go back to, hold on. Gotta get back to grid view, gallery view. Okay. Any questions from the finance committee? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Joe.
Second,
Second,
Thank you, Joe. Okay, roll call. Joe,
aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob.
Aye.
Peter,
aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Denise, I. That's unanimous. Thank you.
You
Technical
forgot
amendment.
me, Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy, sorry, I didn't see you on my screen. Jeremy,
Aye.
thank you. Okay. Technical amendment 2, please.
So thank you, Madam Chair. So technical amendment 2, the first one that we are
Sorry,
proposing.
Brian, I'm
Oh.
sorry. Technical amendment 2 is relating to Article 12, which you're gonna take up later. I just want to
Okay,
be, you know,
okay, sorry.
3
Thanks.
is Article 22.
Okay.
Okay, technical amendment 3, please, Maria.
Sorry, Brian, I didn't mean to mess you up.
No, that's okay. Maria, can you put Article 22 back up, please?
Yes, my computer got frozen for a second. Just give me. I'll put it right now.
Okay. Madam Chair, while Maria is putting it up, I think we sent it around to everybody so I can, there you go, perfect. Thanks, Maria. Next, keep going. keep going, right there. Okay, so the first amendment that we're proposing to Article 22 is eliminating the $12.1 million for costs associated with redesign and reconstruction of the Siasconset area sewer and all other costs incidental. This is not ready to, anywhere near ready to be put out to bid. We haven't even started design, so we're recommending to push this out into a future capital year. So we're proposing to remove that from this capital expenditure table. Next one. So the next one is for supplemental fund, sewer supplemental funding for the administration facility. Originally, we had $7 million appropriation, which was anticipated to cover potential cost of construction, but they have not even started design. So we've worked with the OPM and have reduced that to 1.5 million, which would be the estimated cost for potential design services and construction services once we get to bidding. We expect to be back before Capcom with the supplemental request for the building potentially for 2025 annual town meeting. The next one is a removal of the costs associated with the extension and installation extension of sewer lines in Humming Pond North area. This will be moved out to a future year. It's not ready for consideration at this point, so we're recommending removal of that. That would change the sewer enterprise capital fund from 34,425 to 20,325. Keep going. Then a couple changes in stormwater. We already have funding from a previous article for a study of the Consu Springs area, so we're recommending removing the 200,000 as it's duplicative at this point. Keep scrolling down. I think there's one more, and then costs associated with improvements to Somerset and Raceway Road and infrastructure, other infrastructure improvements and incidental costs. This is a much larger project than just stormwater because it needs to be worked into a sewer extension project. So this is not ready to move ahead at a $4 million appropriation at this time. So we're recommending removing this from the article. Next slide. So with those reductions, stormwater enterprise would go from $8,735,000 to $4,535,000. Can you keep scrolling? Thank you, Maria. So all told, enterprise funds would be reduced from $56,423,725 to $38,123,725.
Thank you. Questions from the Finance Committee?
I have one, Diane. Denise, sorry.
Denise, Jeremy.
Denise.
That's
I have brain lock too occasionally. Brian, why, if you had anticipated that $18 million would be spent on these projects, what caused the delay?
I think they were not, what caused the delay? We're actually delaying them because we're not ready to even begin considering these projects at this point, because we have a lot of other sewer projects, the majority of them being sewer, Jeremy. There's a lot of other sewer focused projects that are farther along than the development of these projects. And specifically the largest one being the expansion and rework and sconset of the sewer system. We have not even started the design. That hasn't even been considered yet. So asking for $12.1 million for reconstruction of something that hasn't started the design phase doesn't make any sense. It would probably take 4 supplemental articles later to get the actual funding we need. So it doesn't make sense to do it at this point, to ask for that funding or authorization.
Okay, thank you.
So to piggyback onto Jeremy's question, is it a capacity issue in the DPW in terms of being able to have enough people and project leads to be able to do this work at the time?
It's a capacity issue in sewer for these projects, Madam Chair.
Sure, sorry.
And as you know, we're currently focused on a very large project being the sewer force main. And following on to that is also an extremely large undertaking for the second phase of the wastewater treatment facility upgrades, which we're currently in design for.
Mhm.
And following on that, as you see in the warrant, there's $5.4 million authorization for a sewer line extension. So there's a lot of projects that need attention, and there's a capacity issue to be able to devote all the resources necessary.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Brian on the technical amendment for number 3 for Article 22?
Motion to adopt.
Thank you, Peter. May I have a second? I have a second,
Second.
okay.
Second.
Jill,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Denise, I. Thank you. Next one, please, number 4.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the technical amendment proposed would transfer from the airport retained earnings $1 million into their operating budget. And I will tell you that the majority of this is because of where the retained earnings ended up, the majority of this money is anticipated to hopefully pay the final outstanding amount due to the town from the previous issues of the airport where we had the payback agreement. There's about 760,000, give or take, that is remaining. The expectation is that the majority of this would be used for that. There are a few engineering reviews that they had to undertake in anticipation of potential capital projects that they're transferring money in about 150,000 into that. And the rest, if unneeded, based on current estimates, would just be returned to retained earnings at the end of the year.
Thank you.
But we do support this, given the fact that it may end up resulting in the full repayment of the remaining outstanding amount from the payback agreement. So
Clear. Questions? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
Motion to adopt.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, roll call. Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Denise, I. Thank you. So we're skipping
Thank
number
you.
6 because of the May 6th deadline date now. So moving on to number 7 or we're skipping 5. We're going to 6. Sorry. Keeping track. Article 63. Over to you, Brian. Oh, this is just a wording change. Somebody couldn't
It's just
spell,
yeah,
couldn't
it's
spell
just a-
country. Yeah,
right.
okay.
Denise, by the way, back to 5 for one quick second.
Yeah.
Just make note of my note there. I'm not, are you, when you're meeting next week, is the intent to just change the comment? Maybe. That's what you'd be meeting about?
Yes, I mean, honestly, at that point, it's really the planning board's motion that the voters vote on. And unless the finance committee feels strongly that we strongly oppose the planning board's motion, I think we would just say the committee supports the planning board motion and leave it at that. But it's, the pleasure of the committee is to, first we have to see what they say. And then if the finance committee feels strongly that they want to also change the comment, put that on the day of town meeting, that's a bit of it's a little bit awkward. Let's just put it that way. I wouldn't expect us to be making significant statements on May 7th at 4:30 in the afternoon. If that's a fair way to put that. If so, we'll stand up and do it live. How's that? Exciting, very exciting. So, okay. Libby? Yeah, okay. All right. Number 6, please. Oh, and that's just a spelling country with an R instead of county. I do not think this requires a lot of discussion.
Move
Motion to
approval.
adopt.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I need to see that. Maria, can I please see everybody? I can only see Chris Kowacki, which is great, but always. There we go. Okay, Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Denise, I. Okay, it's unanimous. Next one, please. Number 7.
So
Okay.
Denise, 7, the hearing for the notice of intent in connection with this project is not complete yet. So we would prefer changing the motion to no action.
Okay. Can,
Motion to adopt.
thank you, Peter. But before we do that, I want to see if anybody has any questions. So,
Can you,
can I have the screen back, please? I'm sorry, Maria, I can't see everybody with thank you. Jill, question.
sorry, can you explain that a little more, Libby? Sorry, I'm also a little slow today.
We have a current notice of intent pending before the Conservation Commission. It's a joint application between the town and SBPF. And it's not complete, so the application is still in process. And the thinking is, since there is no vote yet of the Concom, we should take no action until there is. Hopefully at a fall town meeting, we would have an approved project, hopefully.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was referring to the electric vehicles.
That
Oh,
one's
that's next, yeah.
Like,
So-
gosh, if we can't get that approved, we're in trouble. Okay.
So, okay, so the motion or the request is to change from motion to adopt to motion take no action, pending Concom's final review.
So moved.
Okay. Joy, you a second? Is that why you're raising your hand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Jill,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Denise, aye, that's unanimous. Okay, now we're on the electric vehicles.
So I
Article one-
learned quickly, I learned the other day that is, in fact, National Grid is no longer asking the town to convey any easements to it because they already apparently have the underground infrastructure in place needed to make the connections. And normally if they didn't, they would require an easement, but they do, so they don't require an easement.
Okay, thank you, Libby. And let's see here, gallery view. Okay, back to gallery view. Any questions from the finance committee? Members, seeing none, may I have a
Move
motion?
approval.
Thank you, Chris. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Stephen.
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Denise, I. Okay, it's been changed to take no action, unanimous. All right, that's the end of the technical amendments. Our next meeting will be May 7th at 4:15 in the high school auditorium. For anything that's last minute that we may have to make a recommendation on. Is there any other, and I would say, I'm guessing, not that I'm a wagering person, will be at least 2 nights for town meeting next week, but who knows? We might be pleasantly surprised and get it all done on one night. And is there any other business? Seeing none, may I have okay, so now, Libby, over to you. So we're going to have the moderators conference at 2:00.
Yes,
And then we go, so because the Zoom link we got for executive session was for 2 p.m.
yeah, you'll just go into it when you're done
Okay,
with the moderators conference.
okay, and you will be at,
So you'll, yes, I will. And the select board chair will be as well. You're gonna join the 2:00 as normal. Everybody has the link. And when that is concluded, you will exit out of it and join the executive session, to which you should all have a link.
Erica sent it to all of us yesterday. Okay, so I am hoping, can I see show of hands of people who can make the executive session? Because we didn't, Jill can, are we gonna have a quorum? That's my question. Okay, all right, we'll have a quorum. I'll be there, obviously. So, okay, good. Thank you. I was concerned about,
Sorry about the confusion. It was confusing.
it was confusing and
Yeah.
I'm still sort of confused, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, is there on the town agenda site, is there a Zoom link for the executive session or not?
We
No.
got an
No, you
email
should-
with it, Joe, yesterday. So Erica sent us an email with the Zoom link. We can make sure everybody has it again after we come off of this call. So I can't.
Can I
see
make
both.
sure I understand? Executive session's at 2. and
No,
then we go right to, we're gonna, no?
no, the moderator session is at 2. So Sarah's meeting's at 2:00. And she'll discuss all the things she discusses pre-town meeting at the moderator's meeting. It usually takes about half an hour, right, Sarah? And then as soon as that's finished, we will jump on the executive session link that
Gotcha.
Erica sent us yesterday. So it's probably around 2:30.
Got it.
Sarah, any,
That sounds right.
look at that. I'm like a stop clock, right? Twice a day. So there we go.
Denise,
Libby.
I'm sorry to complicate this further, but technically you should probably vote now to go into executive session following the moderators conference. a little bit
Okay.
later.
Okay, good. We've never had to go to one before, so I'm happy to learn the new process. May I have a motion to go into executive session following the moderators conference?
I'm
So moved.
And a second. Thank you. Roll call, Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Jeremy.
Aye.
Thank you. Denise, I. And Christy will be joining us at the executive session. I see her nodding her head. Yes, thank you, Christy. Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
You
Second.
always. What I love about this is whenever we need a motion to adjourn, everybody's first in on the barrel. Okay, roll call, Joe,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Denise, I. Okay, we'll see everybody at 2:00, and thank you very much on the